Welcome to another video. You know what this means. It's adventure time, and this time we're going to be doing some off-roading. I'm here in Southern California, and we're going to be doing the Berdoo Canyon trail. It's going to take about 2 hours. I think it's 12 miles, and it takes you into Joshua Tree National Park, and you actually end up on Geology Tour Road, which is another long stretch of dirt road that you can see a lot of really cool rock formations and Joshua trees inside the park. So we're gonna jump in the Jeep, get to the beginning of the trailhead, air down the tires, and begin the adventure. One thing I do want to note is the beginning of this area is a public shooting range, and it really saddens me because there's so much garbage, there's so much trash and litter everywhere, so many shotgun shells and other casings. People have just taken their refrigerators and microwaves, mattresses, just whatever you want to shoot, they just bring out here, shoot it up, and then they leave it. And it really saddens me that people do this to the earth. Like, I love going to the shooting range and having fun, especially outdoors. It's a great time. But, God, to treat the landscape like this, it just really breaks my heart. So if you do go out and shoot, please just clean up after yourself. It's really not that difficult. So that's what we're looking at in the beginning of the trail, but we got to pass it to get to the trail. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, I have aired down the tires to about 15 PSI, which is going to provide for a pretty smooth ride, and it's also going to give me pretty good traction to get over some of these obstacles and these rocks. Now, one of the things that happens a lot on this trail is that you will meet a fork in the road and you're not going to know exactly which way to go. So you want to make sure you've got your maps downloaded for offline use, so that way you know which fork in the road to take, because you're going to meet many of them. I've got 2 sets of offline maps downloaded, one through Gaia GPS. I already have a track from when I was here a couple years ago, and I also downloaded the track from OnX Offroad. So we're going to hit the trail. Let's go. Whew, it is warm out here. It's nice. It's nice not to do this in the summertime like I did the first time when it was 120 degrees out. I know a lot of this might not look very difficult because it's really just a gravel road, and believe it or not, this was actually paved at one point. So you'll see sections of asphalt that are just crumbling away, and that also makes it a little bit challenging to find where the actual trail is, because you might end up on some of the asphalt road, and then that actually leads you to a situation that you can't get off of. For instance, there was a ledge one time, and that ledge just had too big of a drop off from my Jeep, and it wouldn't be safe, so I actually had to backtrack and find the route and then go on like the actual trail. But this is a lot of fun. It's pretty. There's not a lot of trash now because we're way past where the public shooting and dumping range is. So I'm just gonna keep on moving. All right, so let me show you what has now been added to this trail. Because this is exactly what I was talking about, where you won't be able to really find your way. So the trail's behind me, and it actually forks off to the left, but you need to stay to the right. To the left is where I actually ended up on pavement, and that's where there was this big drop off and I had to backtrack. Now, it wasn't super safe because there's really no point to do like a 3-point turn, so you really have to do like a 50-point turn, so that way you're not having to reverse the entire time, because that would be more dangerous. So this is what's now been added to the trail, and I'll flip the camera around so you can see. That right there is an arrow, and it tells you to stay to the right. And yeah, good. I'm glad that that has been added. That is much needed. Now, I know it doesn't look like much on camera because it's hard to pick up the perspectives of some of the obstacles. This has crazy dips on the left and right hand side, and this would just absolutely work your suspension. I mean, it would really, you've got to have some real flex to be able to do that. Actually, looking at it, I don't even know if, this is really soft sand. Looking at it, I don't even know if I would really be able to do it. I got a 3.5-inch lift and 35-inch tires. Oh man. But that would be fun. I think it would be unfair to call this a gatekeeper, but it's kind of a gatekeeper. Gatekeeper would normally be at the beginning of the trail. This is, I don't know, maybe like 30 minutes. But this is a part that does not have a place for you to go around the obstacle. You have to go through it or turn around, and that's okay. But basically you've got these big boulders here, and it's called the pinch, and you have to fit your vehicle through it and try not to scrape the sides. I've done it before. Countless explorers have done it before me. Some not so lucky. I'm looking forward to it. Let's do it. Well, I took a fork in the road, and the left side looked a lot easier, so that's why I took it, because I didn't really know where the right side went, and I should have looked at my maps because that's the way I went before. This left side has a nice little obstacle, nothing too challenging. I just got to get really good tire placement. So again, it's probably hard to tell on video, but I got this big rock here that I need to put a tire on. I need to make sure I don't hit this one on the left. So I've got to kind of squeeze in between, but the challenge is going to be this pointy rock sticking up in the middle there. That could catch on something underneath the Jeep, like a diff. So we're gonna, well, we're just gonna get some good tire placement, pick a really nice line, and complete the obstacle. Let's go. So I want to show you what it looks like from the other side. So you kind of see how awkward it was. So maybe you could see here just kind of how awkward this little section is and how tight it is. You can see that people rub their tire on that rock. Doesn't look like too many people have hit their diff. Now the thing that I think is really funny is when I look to my left, there's someone's runner board from their vehicle. And that I find hysterical. I need to eat lunch. It's probably 1:30. I still have a little bit more trail to do. And I kind of want to eat it when I get into the park. Well, when I get to Geology Tour Road, because I am in the park. So I'm just going to put this away, do the trail a little bit more so I can stop for lunch. Okay, I went up the trail a little bit more and I realized this is actually a pretty rocky section. What I need to do is walk this so I can see how difficult it's actually going to be and to make sure that I can do this safely. Otherwise, I will need to turn around, and I'm kind of at a spot where I would be able to do like a 6-point turn and turn around. Let's see. This actually doesn't look too bad. It's a little awkward part here. Yeah, you know. Oh yeah, this is okay. Yeah, there's just like one big flexy section, but someone put a big boulder there to help out. So we're gonna go ahead and do it. Well, again, it's nothing I couldn't handle. You really can do a lot with 35-inch tires and a 3.5-inch lift. Okay, all right, and we continue on the trail. I've made it pretty far into the park and we're finally starting to see a whole bunch of Joshua trees everywhere, and throughout the mountain on the hillsides they're blooming and it's pretty. It's just such a beautiful area, and I feel grateful that there is an off-road trail that will take you into the park and let you go through some canyons and have some fun. Getting close to being able to stop for lunch, so I'm gonna keep on going there's actually quite a bit of people on this trail. I've seen a couple Jeeps and it's really awesome. I mean, it had to have been like a 80s or 90s Land Cruiser, but I'm gonna keep on hitting the road. Let's go. Found a really nice place to stop for lunch, and it's great because you have this awesome Joshua tree. So I'm gonna stay here for a little bit, make myself some lunch. Oh wow, let me turn the camera around and show you just how gorgeous this area is. And we're at pretty high up elevation. I think we're at 4,200, 4,300 feet. I think that was a lot of fun, and I really hope you enjoyed tagging along on this adventure of Berdoo Canyon, which took us into Joshua Tree National Park. So I just finished up lunch, and I'm gonna keep hitting the trail. I really don't have long to go. I mean, I can see the park right behind the camera. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. Please remember to like and subscribe the video. That helps me get this out so other people can enjoy the content. And if you subscribe, hit the bell so that way you can be notified for the next videos that come out. Thanks again, and see you in the next video.